all pops in here. Oh, sound. Where's my pen? I'm already losing stuff, guys. Hi, Dawn. Oh, loud and clear. Perfect. Oh, goodness. They've been busy today. Hi, Diane. Alrighty. So Dawn's not doing this one, but you're here. Diane is already done. How is everybody today? Ooh, my table's shaky today. Why? I'm sitting very low too. And look, I vacuumed. It's a miracle. Aw, Dawn, you've been running around a lot helping out your brother-in-law. I know that. Hi, Cynthia. Are you still planning to sew along with me today? Do you know what? I'm sitting here and I really want to change out 2 of my signs on the wall to my new sign. I'm going to do it quickly because you guys are going to love this. I'm going to take these 2 down. I have to do it because my parents bought me this one. And I think it's going to be perfect, hopefully. Right there. Can you guys see that? Can you see it there? It says, Coco made me do it. It's the perfect sign. I have to find a home for those other 2 signs. Maybe lower that one down a little bit. Yeah, my parents found it at Value Village of all places. It's just perfect. It's gold and it's sparkly, but it's just so perfect. I didn't expect it to be that big. I thought I could use it in my videos, but it's way too big. I did get a bunch of signs made for my videos though, which is awesome. You may have noticed I have a sneak peek of the Selah tutorial available to members. That's only going to be available to after class because I have to get it scheduled for this weekend. I just wanted to get it uploaded, and then after class it won't be available to be seen until the videos launch this weekend. But so tomorrow, or I will launch the Meet the Bags tonight. Tomorrow morning will be the cutting video, which you guys have seen, and then the tutorial on Saturday. But I want to get them scheduled so the public side knows when they are launching so they can all be prepared to join the premiere. So you're just watching it. Did you like it, Diane? Hi, Kathy. How are you? Are you sewing along with us today? I'm sitting super low in my chair. It went downwards. It's very quiet upstairs right now. I think I should be worried. Both boys are home, but the dogs are being uber quiet. It's worrisome to me. My drink. You're sewing along? Perfect.
Why, thanks.
Oh, my watch is talking to me. I don't know why it does that. give another 5 minutes for people to pop in, and then we will get started. Everybody got the homework done okay? And it's looking pretty nice. I'm excited. We're about to do the hardest part, or what I found the hardest part. That's not too bad. No, Dexter's not under my desk today, no. Oh my gosh. So, was it yesterday? Dexter was quiet, and that has to be no good. So I go looking for the puppy. I can't find him anywhere. And then I noticed that the sliding door to the backyard was left open, and he's not in the backyard. We have a very small backyard, and he's not in there. So I thought he jumped the fence. I'm panicking, going, oh my gosh, my puppy jumped the fence. So I go running up and down the streets, calling his name, looking for him, hopped in my car, drive around the block, can't find him. Get home, frustrated, worried, look under my cutting table, and he's sound asleep like a baby. He was sleeping there the whole time. Oh my goodness. Don't know why I thought he jumped the fence. He's never tried to do that before, but just because I didn't know where he was. But the underneath my cutting table is kind of shaped like this, right? So he went around this side and he was along the back. So there's almost like a barrier underneath there, and all I could see when I got back was like his tail sticking out. So yeah, he needs a bell. Well, he usually barks, but no, he's just sound asleep. I mean, he's a 60-pound puppy. I mean, how can I lose a 60-pound puppy? He's bigger than Coco now. He just turned 7 months on the 16th. My baby's growing up. Oh dear, I had to find my Sojo. I feel like taking a nap. You guys gotta get me motivated. So who's gonna make the Selah after seeing the tutorial? Are you gonna make one, Diane? They're pretty good. It's pretty easy to make too. I may have overdone it with the interfacing, but I needed to do it with foam. Pattern calls for fleece, but I did foam. I love me some foam. Get some coffee, then I won't sleep. Yeah, well, I was having issues uploading that tutorial. I did the voiceover and everything this morning. I did all the tutorial yesterday. But I had to upload it 3 times. And then it finally took. And then I get a copyright violation. There is this scam. It's so ridiculous, going around YouTube for YouTube creators. So what it is, when you use music in your videos, mine is all royalty free. I have a membership to Ben's Sound, so I have a license to use the music that I use in my videos. And it's always just like a little 3-minute song at the end, right? And it's usually the same 2 songs that I've been using forever. Then all of a sudden, the last 3 videos I get, it says copyright claim, copyright claim, copyright claim. So of course I file a, I forget, it was a dispute, because I have access to those things. Then I noticed that the copyright claim is coming from the same company. And so I Googled it and found other YouTubers having the same thing. And what happens is, if somebody does a copyright infringement, even though it's not their song, they can do a copyright infringement. And it'll just say it doesn't affect your channel, you just can't collect monetization. But what happens is, if you don't dispute it, or you take that video down, if you don't dispute it, leave the video up, then that person that did the copyright claim gets all of your monetization. It's ridiculous. So I actually filed a complaint with YouTube today in regards to that, because this is obviously a scam person that's doing it. And it's been just since I've hit 10,000, and it's the same company doing it. And I've contacted Ben's Sound, and it's not them doing it. So yeah, hopefully that gets under control. So those videos, that monetization, that little bit of money I make, which is only about $20 a video in a month, it goes into escrow, and then after 30 days, then it's released to me if they don't dispute it. And they won't dispute it because I have rights to it. So, but it's infuriating that there's such evil people out there. It's terrible. Hi, Frankie. Ooh, Diane, in pink and flower fabric. That would be nice. Frankie, you weren't sewing along, were you? Were you sewing along with us? No, I think you're just visiting. Frankie. Oh, goodness. I hate scammers too, so. All right. Well, I think we have everybody in here that was sewing along with me anyways. Kim's probably at work. Elba's not feeling well. She has COVID, but hopefully she'll be able to pop in. But yeah. All right. Are you ladies ready? Are you ready? You gonna help me find my sojo today? So I actually started, you can see my bins back here. I'm cutting out 2 Fun Bobby backpacks. One, they're both for customer orders. One I'm doing a tutorial on, but I'm going to try to do them simultaneously and get them done this weekend all at the same time. So wish me luck with that, hey? Your trip to Europe, Frankie, where are you going? I'm jealous. I'm going to England next year, hopefully. We'll see. I got the doctor's okay to sew for those of you that weren't there Tuesday. He says I'm good to go as long as I listen to my body and stop when my arms hurt. And I'm not allowed to take any form of painkiller for my arms to mask it. So and so, Brandy. Yay! All right. Well, let me put us down to table as soon as I can. Oh, I can't find my mouse. Oh, I found it. Said I can't find my mouse. We can't do this today. I've got a terrible attitude. All right, so what we want to do next is we want to pull out our side things that we were working on. We're going to get this exterior all finished up today. Maybe the lining. Maybe we'll get it all done. I'm not sure. Probably not. And then you have your 2 side accent pieces here, okay? So what we want to do, you're going to notice the side accent pieces are actually too long, but that's okay. What we're going to do is fold these in half and find our middle centers of them. Just going to Switzerland, Germany, France, Netherlands. Can't wait. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. I am so jealous. Said I just left the continent for my very first time when I went to Indonesia in December, and now I have a little bit of that travel bug, that's for sure. Okay. So we'll do these both at the same time. So we already have our bottom centers marked on this. So we're going to put these right sides together on one side, and we're going to match up that center. And then we're just going to start clipping it around. Now, when you get to the corners and it doesn't want to go around, we're just going to go and just put little teeny tiny 1/8 of an inch snips in it, just to help make a straight piece roundish. So it helps distribute that fabric around that corner. See, just like that. And clip it in place. Again, this is the hardest part of the bag. No, it's not as small as the itty bitty. It's close. I actually have my, I have it all packaged up. My client's picking it up soon, so I have it all packaged already, so I can't compare the 2 side by side. I'd have to unpackage it. I don't want to do that. Clip all the way up the side, and when it's too long, that's okay. We're going to trim that up later. Thank you, Dawn. I was actually going, what is my seam allowance? Dawn is now my seam allowance queen. Now, when you guys do the Sela, it goes between 3/8 and 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. It jumps all over the place a little bit, so again, making snips in the corner. Once you have this one done, go ahead and do the other one. We'll do them at the same time so we can get this whole thing, the whole exterior done today. Tomorrow I have girls' night with my girlfriends. My birthday's in a week, so because I have plans for my birthday weekend already with family, my friends Tammy and Tracy, we're going to do a girls' night and sit in the hot tub at Tracy's house and maybe watch movies and have pizza. It's going to be really nice. Girl time. That's tomorrow night, and then I plan on sewing all day tomorrow and all through the weekend. So busy, busy. Playing catch up from being in sewing jail. The other side. Okay, here comes the hot flashes. Now I'm getting warm again. Man, oh man. And then once we have these all clipped on, we're going to go ahead and sew these on with 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to grab a quick drink and then we'll switch over to the machine. Cynthia and Kathy, I'm going to leave it up to you because you're sewing along with me. If I get going too far ahead, please do stop me, okay? Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. All right? Okay. Let me flip over. All right. It's 1/4 inch. Now it might be helpful. I don't like that one. Where's my other one? I've lost it again. To have a stiletto, but all I have is this one and it's not my favorite one. I don't know what I did with my other one. I keep losing my stilettos. But a stiletto does help hold things in place while you're going around a corner. Actually, this side might work okay. This is a clover one, I think, and it's just, I don't like it. I saw it in a Sally Tomato tutorial, so I thought I'd give it a try because I thought it looked cool, but I don't like it at all. I like the metal tip ones better. So this is where you want to kind of make sure you're pushing any pleats or what are they called? Get any kind of tucks in there. Not a bigger deal if they are there. They're in the corner. They won't be as noticeable, but try to avoid them if you can without soiling your fingers. And this is the hardest part, sewing these things onto the main body of the whole bag. I found anyways. Diane, you finished the bag. Do you feel the same? Was this the hardest part when you sewed this onto the main panels? Just because it's such a tiny space to work with. This one, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one as well while I'm here. Make sure I caught everything. Did? Okay, other side. Ah. Flat. Come on. There we go. Oh, I got clips flying everywhere. Diane, you didn't find it too bad? it's more finicky than anything, just because it's teeny tiny area. Feel that? No. Come on, baby. There we go. Oops. Alrighty. Beware flying clips, that's right. Alright. So this is what we got. Give everybody a minute or so to get there. If you're there already, please do let me know. So thirsty. The air is so dry here right now. It's unbelievable. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is trim up this excess. Just make it line up with the top. I'm just looking at the wrong side so you can see how it goes over. Just trimming it up. And then that is the side panels done and ready to go. Okay, so next we are going to attach our bottom pieces. It's going to end up looking like this. It does take longer to make a smaller bag than a bigger one. Smaller bags are harder to do than large bags. That is so true. Okay, so we're going to take our bottom piece. I'm going to double check I'm doing it right because I'm kind of going rogue and not looking at the pattern. Yep. Cynthia's done. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to take our bottom piece and we're going to put it, grab one of our main panels, put them right sides together. Actually, first, let's find our top and bottom and side centers of this, which would be so much easier if I just did this when I was cutting them, but no, I never do. And we want to find it on the short sides as well. I've got a little bit of excess foam there I'm going to trim away. Okay, so we're going to take this right sides together, match up that center, and clip across. Kathy's done. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to sew across here with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, 3/8. Oops, got a little bit long there. All right, before we top stitch this, we are going to do a really cool trick that I learned from this pattern, and Selah pattern as well, so I'll wait till Kathy and Cynthia are both done because they're going to want to see what I'm doing here. Just trim some of my foam away, so let me know when you're done, ladies. I'm just trimming off some of my foam that's kind of hanging out while I wait. Cynthia's done. Okay, so what we want to do, and you can kind of just guesstimate, we want to measure in about a 1/2 inch from each of those ends within that seam allowance. And then we are going to make a snip without cutting that stitching up to it. So I'm not cutting my stitching, I'm just cutting into the seam allowance like this. And the reason we're doing that, I just did measure in on the side pieces here. 1/2 inch. So I just guesstimated the 1/2 inch. So when you open this up, just that small area, we're going to fan it open like this. Just like that. So this middle section is not doing it, but just on these sides. And we are going to clip that open. And we're going to do the same on the other side. And what that is going to do, thanks Diane, what that's going to do is that's going to relieve some of that bulk at that seam when we go to put the sides on. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and we are going to baste that, and then we're going to push the seam towards the bottom, the rest of it, and top stitch through the bottom. Okay, so first we'll baste those small little 1/2 inch sections open, and then we're going to push the seam towards the bottom and baste stitch across the bottom. I'll walk you through it as we get to that part at the machine. All right, so first things we're going to do is baste those little sections open. Oh man, I'm throwing clips everywhere. Holy moly. I said, and this is just such a little thing that makes such a big difference when it comes to bulk, especially if you're on a domestic machine. This will help you a ton. On the other side. Okay. And now that those sections are held open, now we don't have to worry about the bulk in the center here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we're pushing the seam towards the bottom. So it is hanging out on the bottom side, and we are going to top stitch that seam in place through the bottom panel. And then we're going to repeat all of those steps with the opposite side and the opposite main panel. So I use my touch a lot to make sure my seam's going that way, because sometimes it wants to pop over, but I can feel right in here that it's where it needs to be. Easy peasy, that's done. So you can see my seam is pointing downwards, and we're top stitched through the bottom panel. And I'm just going to stay at the machine here and repeat all of those same steps on this opposite side at the machine. there goes another clip. Holy moly. Okay, so I got my main panel on the opposite side, sewing it with 3/8. Grab my scissors and do those little 1/2-inch snips on each side to open up those seams. I'm just guesstimating. Opening those seams up again and basting them in place. I'm not even going to clip them. I'm just going to go in and hold them with my fingers. Same with the other side. Ooh, itchy nose. And then push that seam towards the bottom and top stitch through the bottom. I'm just kind of putting my hand underneath to make sure I'm pushing that seam over towards the bottom. So it's hanging out where it needs to hang out. This side here, I always find, doesn't want to always lie that way for some reason. Not sure why. That's okay. We will make it. And that's done. And that's what we got so far. Hey Wanda, how are you? So Kathy and Cynthia, I'll give you a few minutes to get there. Let me know when you're there, and then we're going to put those sides on. Warm. Holy moly, I need to have a fan in here, I think. But then you guys would hear that, and that would be really annoying. So this is what that looks like on the back. You can see how we have those little ends all opened up to reduce that bulk, which I think we are going to adopt this when we do the Trailblazer on Tuesday, ladies. It is such a great idea. Wouldn't that help, Dawn? If we had the foam cut away from those corners and flatten them out like that, that's going to help that top zipper like 110%. Definitely, hey? Absolutely. Oh, goodness me. Warm. Cynthia's done. Any issues with that, Cynthia, or pretty easy? We've almost got this exterior done. Woohoo! It was okay? Excellent. They're looking super cute though, hey? I really love the black and the pink together. So cute. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to take these main panels, and from the tops of each of the corners, we want to make a mark. I believe it was 3/8. Let me double check. Yes. So right along where this top edge is here, that's where you want to line it up for the 3/8 and make a mark. Same with on the other side. 3/8. And do this one again because it doesn't look right to me. 3/8. 3/8. Because that is where we're going to be lining the top of our side panels up with, is at that 3/8 mark. Okay. Toughest part of the whole bag, I found. So we want to put these right sides together, and it's mainly because we're working with such little fabric here. So you're going to kind of spread this out. We want to work with the side that we haven't sewn. We want to put it right sides together, match up that center mark, and put in a couple clips. Let me grab the other bag and I'll show you what we are doing so you have a visual. So what we're creating right now is, see my rose gold parts all around here. That is what we're doing right now. Okay, then you want to take the top side of it and you want to bring it up. You want to line it up with that 3/8 of an inch line, like so. Put in a couple clips to hold that in place. Do the same with the opposite side, up to that 3/8 line. Couple clips. And then we want to go ahead and finish clipping all the way down. Now when you get to the corner, if that accent, see how my accent doesn't look like it wants to fit? I'm actually going to just trim some of this away. It's within the seam allowance here at the side we just sewn. But see how it doesn't want to go around that corner there? So I'm just going to do some little snips in there, just little 1/8 of an inch snips to help it a little bit. Hi Barbara, how are you? Okay. And then that should nestle in there nicely, and it does. It's just a really tight space, and I'm going to be really wanting to know where my stiletto is. I might have to use a screwdriver if I can't find it. Oh, I found it. It's right here. Yay. So you definitely will want a stiletto or a screwdriver or something that can help you hold that in place. I know screwdriver sounds weird, but it has helped me in a pinch when I can't find my stiletto because I'm always losing them. I used to have 3. Now I have 1. I don't know. I lost my Fancy by Annie's one, which made me sad. I think it fell in the garbage and went to the dump. I'm not sure. And then once we have this on, we're going to go ahead and sew it with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to go in for a second time within the seam allowance and do a second row of stitching just for strength, because this piece is not interfaced. I want to make sure my stitches aren't going to show through, and do a second row of stitching. And that's completely up to you if you want to do that or not. Okay, I need to do some little snips. A long handle tweezers would work too, yeah, that's for sure. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go do that with a 1/4 of an inch. Was it a 1/4 of an inch? Yes. No. Yes. 1/4 of an inch. Yes. Okay. Oh no, Kathy, state of emergency for flooding. Okay, no problem. You know how to get me if you need help with anything. All right. Quarter of an inch. And you can see it's a very tight space we're working with here. And the stiletto just helps because you can pull the fabric over to the edge, especially on that corner where it may want to slip a little bit. Sorry if my head gets in the way. Concentrating so hard. Be careful not to catch the other side that we've already sewn. Kind of want to push it out of the way. If it's in the way like mine is. See, just kind of push it out of the way so you don't accidentally sew through that. So that would be bad news bears. You don't want to do that. Kathy, you're in Ontario, right? Ottawa River, I'm thinking so. Just the season. We've already had wildfires happening over here in British Columbia where we like to catch on fire all summer long. Hopefully it's not a bad fire year. Just take those bottom corners slowly. That's the worst part, is just those bottom corners. Still lined up, so that's good. Okay, and then I'm just going to peek inside here to make sure everything was caught. And if it all looks good, I'm going to go in with that second row of stitching 1/8 of an inch away from that just to strengthen that seam a little bit. So this one's nice and fast because it's already in place. You're just doing an extra row of stitching. But still making sure you're not sewing through that other piece. Squish the bag if you need to. And that side looks amazing. So while I'm at the machine here, I'm going to go ahead at the machine and I'm going to attach the other side. Trying to show you guys a little bit more how I sew. I don't always go from the table to the machine, from the table to the machine, even though my table's right next to me. When I'm doing the same things, a lot of the time I'll just sit at the machine and put it on here. So that's what I'm going to do here. It's the exact same process we just did with the other side. Okay, so, oops, I wasn't looking. I was looking at the screen reading everybody's talking instead of paying attention to what I was clipping. All right, and bringing it up to that 3/8 mark. And the other side. And then we can start clipping in between those sections. I need my scissors. Ah, parlez-vous le français, Kathy? Not that my French is very good. I used to be fairly fluent in it, but I've lost it. I wanted to be a French teacher once upon a time. When I was going to become a teacher, I was majoring in French and minoring in music. I wanted to be a French and music teacher. But when it came time to go into the Bachelor of Education program, my counselor took me aside and there wasn't going to be any jobs because all the boomers had the jobs. And she was very right, because now all my friends that went into the ed program are just now getting full-time jobs and they're almost 50 years old. We'll keep you in our thoughts, Kathy, to make sure you don't flood. All positive energy going your way. Okay, that's one corner done. You need to send some of that water over here to BC because we're dry. And we're catching on fire already. Opposite end of the country completely, but hey, what can you do? Same time, we don't want the flooding situation that happened a year or so ago either. That was terrible. Almost done this corner. Again, just repeating, doing my little snips. This little corner is the worst. There we go. Trim some of that away. Out of my way. Again, I'm using 101 clips. You guys know me. I don't like things to shift on me. Holy, we're having a huge windstorm here all of a sudden. That's crazy. Don't know why I'm having problems getting around this corner. There we go. This corner's fighting me a little, but we'll get her. There we go. Take your time with these corners too, because you want this. This is such a pretty part of the bag. You want it to look really good. See, I'm not rushing at all. All right, now I'm ready. Oh, you moved from Calgary. I don't speak French very good either. That's a pretty big move from Calgary to Quebec, though. Holy moly. All right, stiletto. See, I already lost it. There it is. Riley, did you feed the dogs? Yep. Thank you. Kind of fold this up and out of the way so I don't accidentally sew through it. Meaning the other side that I've already sewn kind of wants to tuck in there a little bit. Just kind of lift it up. Out of the way with the stiletto. Such a tight little space. Not my most favorite part of this bag. But it's such a small part, you can do it. A zipper foot might made it a little bit easier in here, or a narrow foot. Actually, definitely would have. I can't remember if I did that in the tutorial or not. And my clips have all fallen out. Oh, man. didn't want that to happen. See, one side went really easy and this side is just fighting me. Might have to go back in again. Most challenging part of the bag right here. See what's happening? Man, oh man. We'll just clip it as we go. It's probably because I'm talking instead of paying attention to what I'm doing. This part is actually a lot easier to do on a cylinder arm too, but I know not everybody has one, so I try not to go over to that machine too much. But I will for finishing this bag because that is exactly what I bought that machine for. There we go. So I already know on the bottom I have to go back and stitch a little closer because I know I fell more into an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance than a 1/4 of an inch. That's okay. Diane used her zipper foot. Again, that would have been a lot smarter if I had done that. I probably did that in the video and just don't remember. Okay, so I am going to go back in this area that I know. Actually, do you know what? I'll just do it as I go and do that second row of stitching. And I can correct that as I go. That's the section I was talking about. So rather than doing the 1/8 of an inch there, I'm going to do the 1/4 of an inch there because I already did the 1/8 of an inch. And that'll be the same as doing a second row stitching. There we go. You can see there, that's where I went really off kilter. So we are fixing that as we're speaking now. All fixed. Done and done. No harm, no foul. And then we'll hope that looks good on the other side. Yep, she does. We're good. How are you making out, Cynthia? Whew, that was a workout for me. Woohoo! My watch is awarding me for moving. Barbara, I love my zipper foot. I use my zipper, both of my zipper feet, but half as much, or about the same amount of time as my standard foot. Okay. So once we have that done, we can go ahead, we can turn it right side out and admire our work. It's a little bit of a tough part, isn't it, Cynthia? And try your zipper foot if you're struggling. I should have done that to begin with. But look, I've got no tucks. I'm good. Looks so pretty. It is hard on the arms. So that's the hardest part of the whole bag. The rest is pretty easy. But look how amazing it looks. It is so worth that effort. 100%. Except for my seam, I didn't backstitch there. Look it. So I have to go back in. So there's something I did see. My seam, I didn't backstitch it. So it is coming apart. That's okay. I am fixing something because I didn't backstitch. So I'll quickly go in and do that. better to notice that now than later. Backstitch, backstitch, backstitch. There we go. All fixed. And that's why we check our work as we go. Okay. So yeah, that's the hardest part of the whole bag, and the rest of the bag is pretty darn easy. I think so anyways. So many threads. It kind of gives you an idea. How cute is that? It's just amazing how it does this like faux, almost piping look when you have the two colors like that. So that there is exterior done, but it's not a very big bag. I mean, look at, I have very small hands. That's a good idea too, Barbara, to use bamboo point turner. Nice. Alrighty, whew. Warm, and it's only 5 o'clock. We've already done almost all the lining stuff. Very Coco Chanel? Kind of is, isn't it? Do you know what? We may actually get through all of this today if we get... We may. So Cynthia, let me know when you're ready to go and we will finish up this lining, and then I think we might actually get this bag done today. Woo! Because we don't have that much left to do. Hard part is done. So that means I get to sit down and take a little break. And we got an hour. I think we're going to get her done and we'll have next Thursday off, which is actually good news if we get it done, because if we get it done, if Trailblazer needs an extra day, we can always steal the Thursday again. But I think we'll get through Trailblazer okay next week. You're done? Perfect. Okay. So the lining goes together in much the same way, except for a little difference when it comes to the side pieces. So what we want to do, you should have this little itty bitty pocket. Actually, I should trim my pocket up with the opening in the bottom. Now what we're going to want to make sure is that we don't accidentally sew this opening shut, because it is so close to the bottom here. So we're going to make sure we tuck it out of the way when we're sewing. Okay, so first we're going to take the side that has our flap. So this is the back of the bag. We've got our bottom piece here. We're going to find our centers just like we did with the other ones. Hi, Anna. So all 4 centers. Dawn, can you do me a favor and look up what my seam allowance is? I don't see it there. I'm looking. I'm at the base lining and one of the completed lining panels. Oh, 3/8 of an inch. I found it. Okay. So again, we're going to take this right sides together. We have our centers. Again, make sure you're not clipping this pocket into it. You want to kind of hold it out of the way and clip that in place. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and sew across there with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm just going to go to the machine and do it, because it's just a straight line, making sure not to sew that pocket. All right. 3/8. The other side we're going to do slightly different, but this side's pretty easy. Oops. All right, so that's done. I didn't sew through that pocket. It's very important we don't. Now for this other side, what we want to do is we want to leave an opening on the bottom, and you want to make it fairly generous. So I'm only going to leave like I'm going to draw about an inch in from each side, and I'm going to leave this whole area open, but we are going to tack it on right sides together, just sewing those little lines there and leaving this turning hole open. Now you could go ahead and baste these open if you wanted to, but because it's the lining, it's a lot easier to hold open, so I will probably just hold it open myself. Oopsies. So just go ahead and sew in between those little lines with the 3/8. And I'm just doing it quickly because I know you guys all know what that looks like. All right. So this is what that looks like. You have the opening in the bottom. You'll see how this lining is going to close up like so. Got to show Anna this because it's her vinyls. It's her Canuck vinyls, the Cotton Candy Pink and the Loon Black. They look amazing together. Okay, Cynthia, let me know when you're there. Oops, I forgot to mark the center on this side. I'll do it quickly. Bye, Barbara. Got all of that done within an hour. That's amazing. Done? Okay. So once again, we want to mark the bottom centers of our sides. And we have our sides centers of our bottom pieces. Now this one is a little bit weird because it's going to seem like these side panels are too big, and it's because they are, but we're going to be doing some darting as we go, and it's super easy. So once again, we want to mark 3/8 of an inch down from each of the sides like we did with the exterior. So 3/8. And 3/8. Make sure it's the right measurement. I'm pretty sure it's the same. Yep. Same with the other side. 3/8. 3/8. Okay. I'm going to take one side, right sides together. Don, if you can double check what my, oh, it's a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, I believe. Yeah, never mind. So mark that center with a couple clips. Bring the sides up to match that 3/8 line. Put in a couple clips. Same with the other side. Make sure you're not going to be sewing your flap by accident. Match it up with that 3/8 line. Okay, then we're going to start clipping down. So first I'm going to clip across to maybe a 1/4 of an inch before we hit that bottom seam. Okay, and then start clipping down, and this is where you're going to see our side is too big. That's what we want. So we're going to clip it down as close as we can to that bottom seam. And then when we get there, see how this is my bottom seam? Can you see this? And that's where I have too much. So I'm going to pinch this at that seam like that. And then I'm going to push them both towards the bottom. So we've created this little dart here. I'm going to put a clip there. So I'll show you that again. So here's our bottom seam that we had sewn. And this is the excess right at that seam. So we're going to pinch that. So those seams are going to match up and fold them both towards the bottom, creating a dart in the lining. Clip that in place. Do the same with the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's in the lining. Here it comes again. Got that little bit too much. I'm going to push that together and then push them so they're facing the bottom of the bag and clip them in place. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clip the opposite side in place as well, and then we will sew them both at the same time at the machine with 1/4 of an inch. And then that's it for the lining. Then the lining's done. My cat is meowing at the door. I wonder what Princess Zelda wants. Usually it's the dogs we hear barking. All I hear are the cats meowing. Okay, and there's my dart again to show again. So as I come to it, I match up those seams and push them towards the bottom of the bag, like so. And we've got both sides clipped into place. You can kind of look on the inside and see what that creates, kind of a darted look. And then we can go ahead and sew that in place with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Clean up some of these clips here. And this one is much easier to sew than the exterior. And again, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world because it's the lining. One side done just that fast. Other side. she's done that lining piece. So while I have the camera here, I'm going to make you guys dizzy for a moment because I'm just going to situate it for my cylinder arm because I'm going to do the rest on my cylinder arm. So I got to move my camera. So hopefully I don't make you too dizzy because I have to move it. Whee! You can see the messiness of my room as I pan around. How's that? Trying to see. Nope, this way more. There we go. I think that'll work. Okay. There we go. So there's our lining all finished. We're almost done. I'm going to need some more clips. You like my lights? Thank you. Yeah. Cynthia, are you all done? We're so getting this done today. I'm so excited. All done? Okay. So for this one, it tells you to put the exterior into the lining, but the lining is just so small. I found it a lot easier to turn your exterior wrong side out again. I just found this a lot easier, especially for the getting it in there, and you don't have to fight it as much. It's not as hard on your arms. And then you're going to turn your lining right side out. So just doing it the opposite what we usually would do. And for this bag, it's just a lot easier to do it this way. Ooh, look, I got a goal. I'm really happy with my early birthday present my husband gave me. I got a stand goal. All right, so this is where we have to be very, very careful where we are placing our snap. We want the snap to be situated with the back of the bag because of how it's going to come over. So this is the side where my nameplate is on, so that's at the front. Here is my flap side, so I'm making sure it's situated to the back. I'm going to tuck my flap inside like so. See how easy that goes in? And then we're going to start clipping it together. So match up that center. That front center. I always do my centers first. I'm going to do my back center, again making sure your flap is out of the way. Here you want to make sure your hardware is tucked down and out. You don't want to be accidentally sewing through it. We want to match up these little cutouts here. And you will find, now, look, I have to fix something quickly. Look, my other side I didn't backstitch. Ignore me for 1 minute. I have to fix my exterior. It'll take 2 seconds. Bad, Brandy, bad. Not backstitching good enough. All fixed. It was on the same side too. Okay. Anyways, so match up that center part. Better to discover when you don't have a seam that's sticking right then. And now you're going to see this seam right here, where the side matches the lining top. It'll match up with this one right here where the curvy parts are. So you want to make sure they match up, kind of nested together, and they should follow that curve nicely. And I just match up those top curves first. And then more on the side. And I have my seam going this way. There's Coco. Yes, Danelda, thank you. I'm using the Connect vinyls from Galaxy. This is the Cotton Candy Pink and the Loon Black. Okay, and take your time to make sure these match up. This is, we're going to take this stitch really, really slow because we want to get all of our corners and all of our curves as perfect as we can. So that's one side. The other side. That hardware is going to be, there we go. I'm not sure if she has Cotton Candy Pink in, but I think she's getting more. If Anna's still there, she could answer that question more for me than I know. Come on, match up. There we go. I think I have very little vinyl from anybody else here. I have some Mora, but most of it is Galaxy Customs now. I have a problem. I'm addicted, not gonna lie. Not a bad problem to have. So I'm just going to cut some of my foam out of the way here that's kind of hanging out, and then evenly clip it the rest of the way around. So make sure that your linings and your exteriors are right size together. Anna says she has 2 rolls left. Not sure I can get more since it's discontinued. Oh no, that makes me so sad. It's so pretty. Do I have any left? I think I have 2 rolls in my, yep, I do. I bought a lot. Use lots and lots of clips, especially around those curves. Why do they discontinue all the prettiest colors? I would kill for a pearl in baby pink this color. I would. I guess that's not nice to say. Okay, so now we have that all done. We're going to take this to the machine, and I believe Dawn told me it was 1/4 of an inch all the way around, which it is. If I was doing this on my flatbed, I would do it from the inside of the inside of the bag and just turn your bag as you go. I'm going to do it on my cylinder arm, so I'm going to go from the exterior on this side. It's exactly the way you would also do it if you had a free arm machine. All right, so flip on over to Tommy. There's Tommy. We don't play with Tommy very often. And I already even have him threaded, so this is good. Oops, I gotta change chairs though. This chair is too short for Tommy. I need my drafting chair for him. All right. And I'm not gonna be able to see the chat for a moment because my back is to you. Okay. And take it nice and slow and make sure you get your curves and everything. Hand crank if you need to as well. Can you guys hear me on this machine? I hope so. Loud and clear, perfect. Okay, so yes, this curvy part I'm taking very slow because this is the shape of the bag. It will be noticed. These sides are the hardest part to sew, I find, though. Just making sure it matches up. I mean, it's not terrible, but you're going kind of from curvy to sharp. So needle down and pivot, and then get these angles really good too. Again, making sure you're feeling where your hardware is so you're not accidentally sewing through it. Pivot. Okay, hardware, you're making me mad. Push you under, there we go. We did it. And then back into the curvy section. It's kind of like drawing in a way. Feeling here because I know this is my flap side. I want to make sure I'm not accidentally sewing through that flap. Are we still lined up? Yeah, we're still good. To the next straight section. Pivot. This is where I find it likes to shift the most because it's not interfaced on this part on either pieces. So it's kind of really, oops, sorry, I think I hit my camera there. Don't need to make you guys dizzy. It's right by my elbow here. Quarter of an inch seam allowance isn't my favorite to work with. I definitely prefer a 3/8, but that's okay. Almost there. Okay, while I'm sitting at the machine, I'm just going to make sure, I'm going to go along the inside, you see here, and I'm just making sure everything was caught, and it was. Same with the exterior. Okay, I'll take it back to the table. Whew, pivot, exactly. All right, so that's what she looks like. It doesn't look like I shifted too much. I shifted a little bit here, but I'm not worried about that. I'll give Cynthia a moment or two. How are you making out, Cynthia? I'm so proud that we're going to have this done in 3 classes. It's a pretty quick bag. It's a pretty good one. I'm going to grab out my very dull pinking shears. I need new ones. I need to get some Kai's, I think. Kai pinking and Kai regular. These ones are actually pretty good. These scissors are the gingham. Is that what they're called? Gingham? A few more stitches? Okay, I'll wait for you. Sorry, I'm probably asking you questions, Cynthia, while you're trying to sew. What do you guys think of this? For those of you who are watching and haven't made it yet, how many of you are going to make it after the fact? I like this bag. I like this pattern. I think it's great. Done? Perfect. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just on these curvy parts, that's where we're going to take our pinking shears. Especially in this middle section here, this is where my wrists don't like me very much. So I'm probably not going to do a very good job here because I don't have the arm strength. But you definitely want it in the center part with your pinking shears, or to do something in there. Do it on the other side here as well. Somebody come and do this for me. My wrists are not happy. You know what? I'm going to have to just finger press it. I got most of it. I give up. Okay, and then in these pointy corners here, what we want to do is we want to cut into those corners without cutting the thread, just so we kind of make a little that way, so we can make these nice and pointy when we turn it out. And on this side here, where our corners are up, we're just going to cut on a diagonal without cutting the stitching, and that's just going to help us have less bulk there so we can get a nice sharp corner there. Donalda, you totally should. Totally should. Oh, I thought I got my connector there. Ooh, I was close to getting my connector there. That wouldn't have been good. So same with on the opposite side. Into those 2 corners, and then these 2 corners. Now this will be the moment of truth, how my arms are doing. So through this opening in the bottom of the bag, we're going to pull it all through. I find if you can get that flap out first, the rest kind of comes out easier. But it's not too bad. We left a big opening in the bottom, so go ahead and turn it out. Squish the bag. It's not this hard to turn. This is just me being careful with my arms because I don't want to hurt them again. And I can feel they're getting tired. She's a coming. it out. Once you get those main sections punched out, oh, I got a little stranding little thread there. You want to go through the opening, and in these corners, we know they're pointy. You want to kind of get in there and poke out those corners. So take lots of time here to make sure you're getting all those seams out the way you need to. I'm going to take my rings off because they are snagging. Need to put these somewhere I won't lose them. I need an empty bowl. There we go. Okay, taking off the wedding rings. And same within these corners here, you kind of want to make sure you press out all of those curves really good. So it's nice and curvy. And then all the sharp corners here. Use a poker tool if you have one, or if you need it. I think I can do it just by using my fingers. So that side is pretty much all poked out. This side definitely not. Poke her all out. And especially on these sides. There we go. See how nice and pointy that is? It's exactly what we want. Okay, and once you start getting that shape in good, stuff that lining in, and you can start massaging those seams, putting clips in to prepare them for top stitching. Again, if you can, like this one's not quite all the way out. I'm going to try to get it to come out this way. Can't do it. Got to reach inside and poke it out more. Use your sense of touch a lot here to get those seams nice and perfect. There we go. Oh, this is so pretty. I've been wanting to do a pink and black bag for so long. It's going to be hard not to keep this one for myself, I think. But I tend to make myself only leather bags for myself. This is so pretty. So this is where the seams will be the thickest, is right along here. So when we go to top stitch this, keep that in mind. Have your hump jumper ready just in case. Poke that out a little more. You can see how good that shape ended up. Nice and square. Is this one? No, I haven't sold either of my Pawlings yet. I haven't listed my other Pawling for sale, but I'm getting a lot of attention on it on my business page, so I'm hoping when I say it's for sale, people will want it. This one I haven't posted, of course, yet, so it would be nice. So price point for my Pawlings, I sell for $160 Canadian. If that helps you guys at all. I think that's what I have them for. So it's one of my cheaper bags, but it does take minimal materials and it is a fast make, so it's nice when you get a pattern that is like this, that's smaller, where you can have it at a slightly lower price point than the other bags and still make a decent profit. See, I'm still taking time to get those seams all nice. I did sell my class Wayfarer sling, you guys. It sold last week. All my Wayfarers are gone. You can see the pink one in the back there, but it's going with the martini bag from class. That's all the same client, and she has 2 more bags on custom order that I have to make for her. So she's from out of town, and she's going to pick them up all at the same time. So she's got the martini, she's got that Wayfarer. I'm doing a tumbleweed for her. She has a, what else is in there? A Triskel wallet. Ooh, she just bought my black and pink Triskel wallet. I wonder if I could talk her into buying this because it'll match. Shall I try to peer pressure her? I might be able to do it. I might. I may have to take a picture of the wallet that she's purchased from me and this together just to see what happens. Because it could work in my favor. 100%. See, now I'm taking a lot of time here because I want this shape to be perfect. There we go. I don't know how that client feels about an exterior pink bag. That wallet is black on the outside. It's cork, black croc cork on the outside and a pink cork on the inside. But I may have to take a picture of them together just to see if I can sell this bag. I do that all the time. Usually when I make a bag, I will take the scraps and do a matching wallet of some sort and then send it or post it on the page, and then the person that I custom made that bag for 9 times out of 10 says, can I have that wallet? And I always say, do you know what? Of course you can, and because it matches your purse, I'll give you $10 off of that wallet as well. And then they think they've gotten a screaming deal. And they have. I mean, they got $10 off the wallet, but the wallet really didn't cost anything to make because you make it out of the scraps. It just costs you the hardware and the time, and they have minimal, wallets have minimal hardware. All right, so I think I'm happy with how that looks. So now I'm going to take this to the machine. I'm going to check my bobbin to make sure I have enough thread in it. And then we're going to top stitch this baby. Okay, let me switch it over to Tommy. Again, I got to check my bobbin because I definitely don't want to run out of bobbin thread when I'm top stitching this. How are we looking? Oh, we're good. Oops. We are good. My bobbin back in my machine. Tommy's oily. I gave him a spa day this morning. Oops. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's finish her off. Deep breaths, because I'm using contrasting thread. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to start over here. Contrasting threads always make me nervous. Dawn's going to start saying pivot again, our favorite Friends episode. Pivot. Oops, sorry, I bonked the camera. Don't mean to make you guys dizzy. And make sure you're holding that connector out of the way. You don't want to top stitch through it. Pivot. Okay, now we get out of the straight edge mindset. This is where it might be thick and you may need a hump jumper. Just make sure it's not eating up your vinyl. I seem to be okay. And now we're going into the curvy sections. Yeah, I hate using contrasting thread. It always looks so good, but it's nerve-wracking. And I'm doing the front of the bag first to get it out of the way. I'd rather make a mistake on the back than the front, that's for sure. And I never do top stitching fast. In my videos it looks fast just because I have it in fast forward. But this is about the speed I do all my top stitching at. Okay, front is done and looks good. Another thick point here. Gauge if you need your hump jumper or not. I'm good. Pointy section. Pivot. 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 Again, making sure you're not sewing the top of those pockets either. You're just sewing the top parts of those sides. Don't want to accidentally top stitch those pockets shut. Second to last thick section here. And curvy section. Oops, I took that a little wide, but that's okay. It's on the back. It's all good. Make sure that your flap is out of the way. You don't want to accidentally sew through it. So I have it tucked right inside the bag there, and I'm holding it with my fingers to make sure it stays out of the way. Almost there. Last thick section coming up. And then back stitch. I always try to do my back stitches almost in a seam or just before a seam. In my head, it's not as visible there on a side back type thing. Done. All right. See how we did on the inside. So it's not perfect, but it's not terrible. Can't really tell. You can see it looks perfect on this side, but on the inside you can see like here I got a little close, but it looks perfect on the outside. I'm happy with it. Trim up any threads you may have hanging out anywhere, like there, and there. And my start and stop points, if I can find my lighter, I'm going to just burn my threads a little because I'm using a bonded thread, so I don't want them to fray. Do it that snap, make sure everything lines up. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Seriously. And then all we have to do is close it up. So this little useless pocket here that isn't big enough for anything except for maybe a pen and a lip gloss has a purpose, because we're going to pull out that little itty bitty lining. And we're going to pull out the opening in the bottom of the bag through that pocket. So it's more functional than anything. I mean, you can put stuff in it, but it's not a very big pocket. But we did need it to close up the bottom of the bag. So this is a little hard to do because I did use waterproof canvas. We're going to pull it up. Where are you, bottom? There you are. And we are going to find that it's a little awkward because it's such a little hole. Find our centers of that bottom piece and match them up. And we're going to sew up that opening. Okay. Clips. Tug and clip. Tug and clip. There we go. When it comes, it comes. I did not expect to get this bag done today. I'm so impressed with us. Okay, once we have this all clipped, we're going to sew across it with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Holy, that wind is just a howling out there. Wowzers. Okay, so let's take that over to Tommy and we'll sew her up with a 3/8 of an inch, I believe. Come on, Sharon, move. I said this feels a little awkward just because of how small it is, and it kind of is all clumped up, but that's okay. Again, it's the lining. If it's not a perfect seam, it's not the end of the world. Okay, there we go. It's kind of all wrinkling up, so just kind of pull it and straighten it out inch by inch type thing, clip by clip. See, it's kind of clumpy here, so I'm just going to kind of pull it tight. You got a little pucker there? Not worried about it. It's okay. It's all good. Almost there. Okay. Stuff that in. And seriously, look how tight that fits in there. Like, that's awesome. And then this part, you want to fold in those raw edges. Just because I'm using waterproof canvas, I probably don't have to, but I will. Such a little pocket. So close up that lining. Zip pocket. Seriously, such a little teeny tiny pocket. If it wasn't for it helping make the bottom look so neat and tidy, I would have left this pocket out, but we do need it for the turning of the bag, closing it up, so. Oopsies. Okay, and then I'm just going to top stitch this shut with about 1/8 of an inch. Once I can get it to fold under. I don't work with waterproof canvas very often. There we go. Okay, and let's go stitch that shut. Oh, Brady's laughing upstairs. Can you guys hear my kid upstairs? I think he's doing his Twitch thing. He's doing his streaming thing that he does weekly too. Good job, Tommy. I so love this machine so much. All right. We just have to stuff that in, that little itty bitty pocket. It's so tiny, it's hard to stuff back in. Like seriously, that's as far as it goes, is to my knuckles, that's it. Okay, I'm just pushing that pocket in flat. I'm doing it up. Look at that. You do up the flap like so. And then all that's left to do is to rivet on those handles, which I'm not going to do right now. I will do later. Yay! That's it. We're done. We finished it. How cute. They're just so incredibly cute. Look at them. I love this pattern. It's just so adorable and so fast. Like, seriously. Like, maybe cut to finish 3 or 4 hours. It's not too bad at all. Super cute. I think it's going to be a good seller too. I just like it. What do you guys think? I hope some of you, yay, we're done. Did you finish yours too, Cynthia? Yay! So much fun sewing with you today, Cynthia. I don't know if we lost Kathy or not. It's super cute. And it just shows using what fabrics are different. Like this one is a croc. Again, this is all Galaxy Customs too. This was all scrap vinyl. This is all stuff that I didn't have enough to make a full bag with, but it worked perfectly for this one. Same with the lining for this. This wasn't scrap. I dug into my precious cotton candy pink, so yay. Cynthia, what'd you think? Did you like the sew? Can't wait to see everybody's bags. How far did you get, Kathy? They're so good. Very happy with them. Yay. Any questions? Everybody that's sewing with me did it with me already, so I know that you're all good. So this tutorial still won't launch to the public side for another week as scheduled because I only launch one tutorial a week. And so this weekend I am launching the Celia, which I do have I have on the member side now, but after this class I'm actually going to be scheduling it, so we won't be able to see it because I need my cutting video to go live tomorrow and the tutorial will go live on Saturday. So I want the thumbnails up for the public side to see them so people can jump into the premiere and know when it's happening. Did you find this bag challenging, Cynthia? Good challenging or bad challenging? Did you learn a lot from this bag? I learned quite a bit from this bag. Awesome, Kathy. Yay! I'm just so impressed we finished it all at once in 3 classes. So what we'll do, depending on for the Tuesday people, if we don't get through all of the Trailblazer on Tuesday, we have the Thursday class that we can seal that space for as well. And of course, all Thursday people are more than welcome to join us if we end up doing that. Hopefully we'll get it all done on Tuesday, but at least the pressure is off a little bit because we have an extra space of time where we can all pop in and do that. Good. I'm glad you learned a lot, Cynthia. I said I learned some new techniques from this as well. Diane, all classes are great. Oh, thank you. All of you guys are great. This makes it so much fun to be able to sew along together, and it helps us build our stock for whatever, helps us build our skills. You guys teach me stuff every day. And you don't crucify me when I make mistakes, which is good because I do make mistakes. I really love my new sign. That Coco Made Me Do It sign is just amazing. I'm so glad I put it on the wall there. Now I have to find room for my other 2 signs. Anyways, well, we've got 5 minutes left of class. I'm impressed that we finished. Pat yourself on the back. You guys did awesome. I'm going to quickly go and schedule my tutorials for this weekend, and then I'm calling it a night. Thank you everybody for joining us. Next Thursday we're not doing anything. The following Thursday, Thursday classes in May. So we're doing the Mabel by Swoon. It is a fast bag. I could see it being only 3 classes, so we may play the 3rd class by ear based on where we are on the 2nd class. But if we do the 3rd class will not be on the 18th. It'll be on the 17th instead. But we will discuss whether we want to just skip that 3rd class before the long weekend altogether, because the Mabel is definitely going to be a bag that we're going to be able to do in 3. So we will discuss that next month when we get into that, if we want to just do the 3 classes and skip that Thursday before May long weekend, or change that Thursday to the Wednesday. because I'm going camping. So we're leaving on the Thursday morning. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Donelda. Love having you in the classes too. So yeah, so Thursdays will be the Mabel Handbag by Swoon. It is a free pattern, so make sure you jump on over and get it and get all your supplies. And then on Tuesdays, we will be doing the Penny in Wallet by Chris W. Designs. I've never made one before. I'm doing both the Penny in and the Mabel tutorials next week, so I will have them all up before those classes start, so you guys will have a sneak peek as to the process of putting them together. Maybe get some inspiration, and gives me a little practice before I have to show you guys all how to do it, because I haven't made either of them before, so it should be fun. Anyways, reach out to me if you have any questions, and I